Hi, I'm Mo from Pawl-Frederico Photography, and I'd like to welcome you to a new series I call Viewfinder. What I'm doing in this series is taking you behind the scenes of a photo or two in each episode. I'm going to give you a look at why the photo was taken, how the photo was taken, and what was going on behind the scenes. So you can kind of go with me into the process of when and where this photo was taken. Okay, so this is the first photograph I'd like to share with you in this series. And this is obviously 4 hyacinth macaws nesting in a palm tree. So let me bring you along. I was in the Pantanal in Brazil, and that's in kind of southeast Brazil. It's the largest wetland in the world, and it encompasses actually 3 different countries, with Brazil having the largest portion. Now, it is a wetland, but it does have a dry season, and that's in July of 2022. This year, that was part of a dry season. So we were fortunate to be able to walk around in spite of the fact that there are jaguars around. And yes, I was a little trepidatious, but that's okay. I handled it. And we came upon these macaws. Now, the naturalist brought, there were 8 of us, the naturalist brought the 8 of us to this area because the macaws were known to nest here. They return every afternoon. And like clockwork, there they were, and we arrived just in time, almost as if the show was put on for us. These birds are magnificent. They were literally huge. They're larger than vultures. In fact, I do have a photograph of one of them scaring away 2 vultures. They're incredibly large. They're the largest macaw in the species, the hyacinth macaw. And to see them fly in was just incredible. I can't express it enough how incredible it is to see that live. I saw these 4 birds getting together like this, a family or 2 pairs. They do mate for life. And they almost looked to me through my viewfinder as if they were laughing. And to me, that was so captivating. So first I shot them this way, and then I increased my focal length and went close up. And going close up, I ended up with that photograph. Now this was handheld. I was not able to use a tripod because they were so high up in the palm tree. But their magnificence just really, really captured me. I mean, that is a bird, but it's got so much personality. I couldn't stop taking photographs of these creatures. Every time we saw them, I had that camera out and I was snapping away. Let's talk gear. All right, so a lot of cameras out there. And, you know, I'm a big believer in whatever you learn to shoot with, that's what you stick with. So I'm definitely not going to, you know, talk down about anybody's gear or, you know, say my gear is the best gear. It's what you're used to using. And it's the person just as much as the gear, okay? So this is what I use. I use a Z6II, Nikon Z6II, full frame mirrorless camera. For this particular shot, I used a 100-400 millimeter lens. Now, this lens is really, really hard to get right now. I was lucky. I got one of the first ones, not sponsored by Nikon. I purchased it, so nothing was exchanged except money from me to them. What I love about this is the f-stop ring. But with taking this photograph, what really, really is amazing and helped is the steadiness and the sharpness, crispness of this particular lens. I'm in love, gotta tell you. If you look at the reviews online, everybody's in love with this lens that uses Nikon. So, when I first shot this, I had it at about 200 millimeters, and that was that first shot that you saw where the birds were, you could see the birds on the palm tree. And then I cranked it up to 400 millimeters to get the up-close shot of the birds' faces. Now, I could have put a 2-time converter on here and gotten myself all the way to 800 millimeters. That would have been overkill. So it wasn't necessary. The beauty of this is the body was light. The lens is a little heavier because it's a significant amount of glass, but I was able to capture it handheld without a tripod, and that was the fun part. So taking photographs like that for me in the wild is kind of like what I live to do. I call myself a cultural photographer, and I call myself a cultural photographer for a reason. Yes, I am a wildlife photographer. I photograph wildlife a lot, but I also photograph people and cultures, indigenous cultures, local cultures, anything that is of a cultural nature. So in future episodes, you will see some of my other photographs that involved trips to places where I got to meet local tribes people or clans or just the people of a city. And I hope you'll enjoy that. I hope you've enjoyed this. I hope that I've been able to bring you a little bit along with me into this trip. And I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.